Welcome everybody, and time has come to paint our little Fulgrim Primarch. Pretty excited about this one, since I myself have never painted a Fulgrim before. Since I mentioned that in the previous intro video that my colleague Chris has painted one, it's gonna be quite nice to paint one myself. And one downside is that he painted this in 2016, and he has gotten, of course, a lot more better since then. But still, the paint job of that one holds up. Though I did paint the sword on the 2016 Fulgrim. We don't have any pictures of the 2013 or 14 Fulgrim, I think. I'll see if I can dig up some, but I can't recall that he has any left. So yeah, but at least one of them is in the picture. Alright, so for this paint job we will airbrush the armor, and then we'll pick out the details by brush and such, because the only coverage we can do with the airbrush is mostly the armor. The rest will be brush. And that's how it goes a lot with Space Marines, that you choose colors for the armor and then you airbrush that, and then the rest you do with the brush. And if you want to get really detailed with the Space Marines, I would suggest just doing everything by brush, as I do on the Spaceful Terminator. So yeah, for a base I am going to lay down a cover with a mix of royal purple and deep blue. That's because I want a deep and bluish tone that reflects back on the brighter, more purple, pinkish tones that I'm going to use. So next up is the sunset purple. It's going to give a little more reddish purple to the armor, and then this one is quite nice. If you don't have the sunset purple, you can go with violet red from Vallejo Model Color. It is a little bit brighter, but I think it would work just as fine as the sunset red or sunset purple, because they both had that hint of red to them. So don't be scared there. So if you don't get that one, then just switch it out for the violet red. I have used these two paints for a lot of the same jobs many times, depending on how bright I want the color. If I want it brighter, I choose violet red. If I want a little bit darker, I take the sunset purple. So they're perfect for each other, complement each other really nice. And lastly, we're gonna do some sunset red. And this one is going to be really thin, and I'm gonna build it up in small layers. I don't want the 100% opacity. I mean, 100% opaque feeling to the paint. I want some of the other paints to be a little bit translucent through the sunset red, because this one in itself is too pink. But with the airbrush, you can tone it down a little bit. So let's start. I'm just gonna put my mask on, so my sound is going to be a little bit muffled. So let's start with our base coat. So I'm gonna do I think I'll do a 50-50 of the royal purple and the deep blue. And if you don't have deep blue, you can use Incubi Darkness or Dark Sea Blue for this. The blue paint doesn't really matter that much in this case. Otherwise, it usually does. I think it's a huge difference between Incubi Darkness and the Dark Sea Blue, for example. But you just want it to be mixed with some dark blue paint to get a deeper feeling. So, and the deep blue is it's a very dark blue paint. I like it quite a lot, actually. So we'll add some thinner to this. Usually one drop of thinner for each drop of paint. Actually, it's a little bit too blue, so I'm going to add a little bit more of the royal purple. I think the deep blue is stronger. So back that up to 70% royal purple and 30% deep blue instead. So you still want a little bit of a little hint of the purple in there. I wasted a lot of paint now, but that's okay. There we go. So next up we'll paint some sunset purple. 2 drops of thinner to 2 drops of sunset purple. And then I'll add 2 drops of flow improver. No, 3 drops of flow improver. Because the scale paints make some stains quite easily. Alright, so we are going to follow the shapes of our armor plates. There's quite a lot of ornaments and details onto the armor. So we have to look past that to see the shapes. There on the chest, obviously the upper part is going to be covered up quite well. So down here we'll make a airbrush stroke as well. In the middle. These 2 armor plates here are perfectly fine to treat as one. Making a slow build up. This paint isn't covered too well, so the leg here I want the light to start at the top.
On the shoulder pad I choose a light direction on the back from here and one in the front from here. That's just to give a visual good looking perspective of the model when you are holding him in your hand and looking at him. Because you want things to happen on the back as well. Almost forgot this little piece here actually. Alright, so this is the final painted version of this layer. So now we can go on with our next one.
Next up, we are going to paint with some sunset red, and it's going to be our last paint done with the airbrush. Then we're going to move on to paint with our regular brush. See here. So 2 drops of thinner to 2 drops of sunset purple, and 1 drop of flow improver should be enough for this one. The paint is quite thin already. Yeah, that's pretty good. So on the same spots as before. Just need a little hint of it, since it covers quite well, and it gives also a nice effect. With small bursts you get more control of your airbrush as well. As you might have seen in many of my videos, I use this technique quite a lot. I think we have catched all the shapes of Fulgrim now. So yeah, the airbrushing is done here, and now we can move on to painting with the brush.